قلوبهم شتى. It means that their heart is not in the same group. Each one of them have his own interest. I'm gonna give an example. There is a lot of assault that I receive. Someone calling me from those Gohems who call themselves Jews anti-Samist. And I answer him, do you understand what is the meaning of the anti-Samist term? It means that someone hates the Samis. Who's the anti-Samist? It's you. You can call yourself a Jew, but you're not a Samist. This is the dilemma that the world is living. Who's the real anti-Samist? It's you, killing the Palestinians who among them real Israelis. The real Samis are there. Kicking them from their houses, lie about them. Who? Muhammad is a Samist, even if he's an Ismaili. I'm a Samist, I'm an Israelite. The natives there. Who's the anti-Samist? It's the same with the so-called Shiite. They always call us Nasibi. Nasibi means تنصب العداء لآل البيت. Hate or enemy to the family of Muhammad. Though they are the one who's a real Nasibi. If Imam Ali is here, he would say, stop insulting the mother of Beliba, the wife of Muhammad. Stop saying this about God Almighty. Stop worshipping the graves. Return back to the... I got nothing to do with you. Exactly like the so-called Christians saying Antichrist. They are this is the anti-Christians. You are the biggest enemy of the Messiah. They don't want to see this. They're living in Disneyland. No, Disneyland is wonderful comparing to the dirty, rotten world that they live in. I'm going to talk, and you look at the so-called Shiite, they are empowering the so-called Israelis, the Gohan, Jews. Though they hate each other at the end, and there is a problem. I mean, if they could, the so-called Shiite, they would behead the children of the Jews who are occupying the Holy Land. And those who are occupying the Holy Land, if they have the capability, they are professional in killing the children, by the way. They would kill the infant and the children of the so-called Shiite, not the Muslim, no. The so-called Shiite beheaded infant 2 years, 3 years in Syria and other places. I'm not talking about a bomb or something, no, they beheaded. And the so-called Israelite, the Gohem Gentel, at the time of Livni, go and talk to Livni, she is finding it's a normal thing. They kill children, they know that this is a school for children, and they kill children, 3 years, 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, a place, a drum, a place where the people are living in, they bomb it. Terrible, unbelievable. The whole world is just looking, and the so-called Hindus and so-called Buddhists are taking advantage. Russia is interfering, and the so-called Zionist president. He called himself a Zionist. Now, right now, Joe Biden, he even sent his son. I mean, and attacking Iraq wouldn't happen if there is a so-called Shiite helping in this occupation to Iraq. They occupied Iraq to empower the so-called Israeli state. Do you see? And the so-called Shiite helped them. If there is no so-called Shiite, I call them so-called because they got Shiite means loyal to the family of Muhammad. They got nothing to do to the family. So-called Zionists because Zion is our mountain, Mountain Zion, the hills of Zion. They got nothing. They are the biggest enemy. Salah ad-Din is in a way or another. Even if he's not an Israelite, but there is even a question mark about his bloodline. Salah ad-Din as a real native Israeli, by the way. A real native Israeli. And he even allowed some Moroccan who are real Israelis who were at the time of spreading Islam to come to the Holy Land, and you cannot question it, Mr. White Jew or Russian Jew or Ashkenazi Jew. No, you are a bad people who your God, the devil Taghut and the devil and Satan have empowered you and brought you. This is the century of the devil. This is what you need to teach your children, not to go and do your khashkhish bakhashush in front of the Western world. This have nothing to do with Solomon or David. This is a cult of devil. It's not even an ideology from God or a way to deal or treat sins. No, you got nothing to do with the Israelis. Do you understand me? They empower each other. قلوبهم شتى. And they are enemy to each other. If they have, imagine Ali Khamenei have a full authority on the Jews in the Holy Land. It will be like what's happening in Syria and worse. Imagine of the so-called Israelis, in a way or another, they are bombing Syria sometime and killing a lot of Iranians. A conflict, the occupiers would be in a situation similar to the situation of the people of Gaza. Or they would kill even the children, bomb them. They are dirty, bad people. The whole world, I mean, Joe Biden, his son, his corpse dead son, the crusader, went to Iraq. And he protected even the so-called Israeli state. We're dealing with hellfire. People, okay, there is a lot of Muslims who say that it is a better There is no comparison between him and the pimp Trump. This is another story. Those people are bad. Those people are bringing danger to humanity in the East and in the West. I mean, in China, you can go to the president of China, the scourged in Peking, and look what his government is doing to the Eastern Turkmenistan. Now, it's not. Now, this is not the topic. And the so-called Hindus as well. May you be cursed and be destroyed. Okay, I have the right to explain. Don't delete the video. So I'm seeing some comment. Look at the so-called Israelis, these Gohams, Gentile. They want to steal all Jerusalem, all the secret glorified city. People who are not from the Holy Land. And this Joe Biden is saying, this state protect the security of the whole Jewish people all over the world. Fuck you and fuck them. Protect them in Europe. You didn't protect even the children of the so-called, of your own so-called Christian, the children in your environment. The children are always Muslim. There is a lot of children who died in World War II. I'm not going to give another examples happening right now, going to even sex trafficking and things like that. You want to protect the Jews all over the world and go fuck yourself away from our Holy Land. No, they took the Holy Land, and some of the Muslims start saying, okay, we want the two fucking state solution. No, they want us to hate them more. By what? By taking all the Holy Land. I mean, I talked to someone, even this is the third eagle, regardless, and I said, why there is no two-state solution? He said, the Muslim will never accept it. You fucking piece of shit, you motherfuckers. This is how you worship the Antichrist and Satan himself. But you won't see this. I'm not talking about atheists, dirty satanic atheists, no, who doesn't want justice. There is atheists who we can say that they have conscience. No. I'm talking people who consider God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, this, and another motherfucker saying we are the people of God. The fuckers, I'm dealing with those fuckers. Do I have the right to go to Buckingham and I say, hey, bitch, Queen Elizabeth, get the fucker? And she would say, no, please, I want two-state solution. What do you mean? What do you mean, Elizabeth? I want half of the Buckingham for you and half for me and my royal family, please. And I ask, and some would go and ask, for example, a creep, another freak, and say, why Tariq doesn't want to have the two Buckingham separation solution? And the freak would say, and the freak would answer such person who want justice, well, because the royal family could never accept the two. They want the whole Buckingham House for themselves. So Tariq have the right to take the back. Fuck off, bitch. Get out. You and your pimp charge. Go, yalla. Get out. This is how it is. Shut up. I'm giving good examples. Is this allowed? I'm sorry, England. I'm sorry. I apologize. Again, I apologize, England. Because, yes, England have something to do with it. But it's the whole West. The whole world. So it's as this, the Champs-Élysées in Paris, the same. Bring criminals. Kremlin. The Kremlin, okay, the Kremlin in Russia. The Kremlin in Russia. Imagine if I went there and I said, I want the whole Kremlin for myself. My faith is Orthodox Christianity, or I am the communist here. My ideology is communist, and I am lying. My ancestors are Russians. Look at my face. I'm an Israelite myself from Saudi Arabia, and I come there with an external bow, and I took the whole Kremlin. It's Criminals Institute, Kremlin. And I say in the Kremlin, Haredim, you call it Harimlin. The women there, they're beautiful. Someone call it Harimlin. Regardless, prostitution is part of your world. And you go to the this Kremlin. Do I have the right to say all Kremlin is mine? And then they would say the people of Russia, or the real, please, Allah yahrikum yadammirkum. Please, we want 50-50. Tariq, please be smart enough to understand what I'm trying to say. Please, Tariq, we want 50 of the Kremlin for ourselves, and take 50. And I would say, no, I want all Kremlin. And one of them would go and ask a person who is on my side, a freak, who believe in illegitimacy and injustice, an enemy to justice. And they ask him, Why Tariq doesn't want the two states, two separation of the Kremlin? We want half of it, and he can take half. It's not his, but fine, half. We can't. Right now, Islam is weak. The submission to God is weak. It's part of the divine plan, and God shall torture you and put you in punishment. Not Daesh, not Al-Qaeda. I'm not talking about all of them. Some of them are criminal. Not the terrorist. You. Okay, the criminal. So this freak would answer and say, excuse me. Tariq knows that you don't, inside you don't want the 50%, 50-50 solution, okay? Tariq knows that you want the whole Kremlin because you believe that Kremlin is yours. You believe that the Kremlin is yours. So 50-50, no, Tariq will take the... Do you understand? This is what's happening. The Muslim right now in a position saying 50-50, the Eastern Jerusalem is for us as a capital. And the Western, fine, it's yours, you fucking freak, stupid. You worship of the devil. You cannot see your God, Satan, who is a creature of God. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Don't curse it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Who is possessing you, your education, your system, your political system. You will be in hellfire. You will be fuel to hellfire, the oven. This is who. You're the enemy to the Messiah. You're the enemy of the Israelite. Even with the prophecies, Moses instructed a war engagement. You cannot find it. It's manipulated right now. You can find to liberate the Holy Land. They stood there. Let's jump to the captivity to Iraq. Daniel, peace be upon him, said, listen, we will return back and you will build the temple and he will come, the Messiah, to fulfill. This is at the end times of their favoration, and the Messiah will come, and they return back. They build the temple. The Israelis, and I have explained, each one of them thought that the Messiah will be his son, and all of a sudden a virgin woman among the Israelites, the Messiah never was a Jew, announced that he's the Messiah and brought them little bit signs, but they didn't give signs, miracles, but they didn't give him any signs of acceptance. And the Roman made a big mistake, big terrible mistakes with the Israelite at that time. Some of them become like terrorists, like Daesh, fighting the Romans, and the Romans with the Israelis used to say those people are terrorists, do not represent the real Israelis. I'm talking reacting to the Romans. Now again, when the Messiah was risen, and he said, this house of Allah, a masjid, will be destroyed. He went. After Muhammad, when he returned back, he said, I am the final messenger, the end time prophet messenger, and I am instructed that the Masjid al-Aqsa would be built. They went there, they fought shit and pigs and discretion to the holy land, Masjid al-Aqsa, the secret, and they built the temple, the Muslims, based on the instruction of believing that Allah is the creator. You cannot see Allah except through Muhammad, and Muhammad is his final messenger, praying the 5 prayers, fasting, making hajj and pilgrims and umrah and zakah, and dealing with Ahlul Dhimma the way it is. And if they were talking about in slavery and things based on the rules, and liberation based on the rules, and the Khilafah, Rabban ibn Suwillah, أخرج المشركين من جزيرة العرب لا يجتمعون دينارا في جزيرة العرب, all of these rules, and they built the Masjid al-Aqsa. Right now, you got nothing to do. And Muhammad, even in the Quran, a warning that there will be a lafif by those who will call relating themselves to Israel in the Holy Land, which is against the teaching of God. It's against the teaching. There shouldn't be any Jehovah's faith. I have explained this. The Jehovah's faith right now have become a new Islamic open with the change of the population and think through the divine plan to be an Islamic. You do not want to see this. You do not want, because you're fucking cursed. You want to insist on something, fuck off. Even the Chinese before, they were fucked by the Japanese, but now the Chinese have, and the so-called Buddhists and the so-called Hindus, they were showing respect to the Mughals and their Islamic heritage. You made them change and become part of your dark machines, which is ruled by Satan, to attack the light. يريدون أن يطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم وبأيديهم بالأحاديث والله متم نوره ولو كره. In our souls, the light, inshallah, will be protected, and it will be mutim. Those who are, inshallah, إن الله لا يهدي, إن الله إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي الله لا يهدي من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. That's it. That's it. Wallahu mutimmu nurah, the souls that will be in heaven. Now they are coming and saying it's our. I saw some videos after this pimp Trump, who fucked his own daughter, say after he announced Jerusalem, And he's saying, Putin loved them. Loved the so-called Israeli state. The freak. The cursed maniac. May you be in the ban. Not me. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Allahumma ahsan khatamati. Ya Allah. Rahmak. No forgiveness to you. Get out. Leave our holy land. We want it back. Okay. They come. Look what the fuck he did, Trump. So these people are not bad people, normal bad people. No, they are the worst type of criminal. I mean, you can find some bad people who would say, listen, it's politics, it's interest, we will play it, there is some atheists, we understand. Two-state. The so-called Israeli state is part of the West, the Muslim cannot. Two-state, in this way, they will accept the Muslim. Eastern Jerusalem, 50-50. What's called Palestine right now, 50-50. 50 to the occupiers, invader, who got nothing to do with the Israeli race, nothing to do with the teaching of God. They are worse than those who God instructed Moses to tell Banu Israel to liberate the Holy Land from. Right now, they are worse than those people before ancient time. Literally, I can say 1,000 times, 10 times or 100 times, because those people have the ground of excuse. But before Moses, no, they didn't in the Holy Land. So God kicked these tribes. Now, they don't want the two-state. God gave the Jews the Holy Land. You fuckers, you freaks. Do you see the room? وَيَجِدُ ضَغَلَّتَهُ فِي الروم. Do you see Iblis, Satan? Do you see the cross? The shit cross? Do you see the star of the filthy star of dimension, which got nothing to do with David? Do you see the Munira? Have nothing to do with God, Munira. It's tribal symbol. They put it. Do you see the Talmud? Did you read the Talmud? Did you read the Bible? You fuck. Did you study the history? That's why there is a sister murder for Tariq. A prostitute. It's not a mistake. A girl having sex or what? No, a prostitute just to humiliate me as a human being. That's why a brother tortured in the jail. It's not some freaky fucking house, no, or golf. It's starting from Gulf State and outside. And a member of the Saudi House who deserve to be executed. Yeah. Marwan, that's why my brother, I have no penis for you. And I saw some videos. To some fucking gohams, starting from the Ashkenazis and others from Iran and Russia, saying, this is how he speaks, the motherfucker in the video. Jerusalem is the almost capital, and Jerusalem will be eternal capital for us and the Jews. Ashkenazis, Armenians, Marseilles, some of them descended from the slaves that used to brought to Europe. Gypsies, I know some gypsies here from Ireland originally. Wonderful people. So-called Christians, some of them are atheists. I'm not talking bad. Ashkenazis, there is anti-Zionist. I'm saying those, among them gypsies, among them Chinese, imagine, to the father. But Ashkenazi to the mother. This rubbish. Russians, Polish, why are you bringing those people? And they're saying, Jerusalem, the eternal love, and some of them are Asfahanis, Persian, Asfahanis, بالذات, the Irani, got nothing to do with the Israelis, بالذات, and other came at the time of Dawlat al-Uthmaniyya, from Armenia, Romania, all of Italy, okay, they say Moroccan Jews, there was no Jews there. Islam allowed you to be there, coming from Europe, and settling Spain, then Morocco, then Algeria, then the so-called Israeli state. You are cursed, you are bad. Your synagogue is Satan's synagogue. This is the synagogue mentioned in the Torah. The synagogue of all those Jews in your category, you filthy bastards. I need to close and lower my voice. The people have come to the house. There is two gentlemen here. So he's saying, it's our general Jewish capital. Fuck you. No, it's not. No, it is. If it is a Jewish, then I want it. You fucking go out. This is not Judea. This has nothing to do with Judea. Build it. The temple is, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is there, and you keep away from it because you stink. Your soul stink, and the wild beast, you're منكحين بالظلام. The wild you خونة وكذبة وملعونين وظلمة. You stink. Keep away from the Masjid Al-Aqsa. Keep away from the wall, the Western Wall. Get out. Go away. You cannot see the wrath that you're bringing to yourself from God. You cannot. The same, we're dealing with those fuckers. Munira, freaks, that's why you deserve to be executed from the planet Earth. Not the children of Gaza. No, you, the children of Gaza, who are the children of people used to live in Jerusalem, natives, among them real Israelis, Talur Rabi', you kicked them by massacres and genocide held by the filthy Western nation. You are bad and you deserve punishment. The way you are punishing us for us, why am I punished? What did I do? I am a very polite, nice, supporting to my family. Why you fucked me? Go to hell. Like this. This is the whole thing. And they're kicking people from Jerusalem right now and before and killing the Palestinians, the West Bank, and the Muslims are looking at this creep sickness, intruders, Ibn Sayyad. He said, intruders messing with Muhammad, peace be upon him. Muhammad said, اخسأ فلن تعلمون قدر نفسك. Shut up, you're not more than who you are. Because Muhammad explained of those الدخلاء الآدمية. نعم, it's in the Quran. There is not, من هو الدخلاء? You, starting from you. That's why you hate Muhammad. That's why you have a problem with the word Allah. That's why you do not want to see that Muhammad is the final messenger. That's why تتبعون أهواءكم. Why we are not side, okay, why we are not in the Holy Land. If there was no Islam, you filthy so-called Israelis, Jews, you wouldn't even be filthy Jew. Because you cannot see it. Dark groups all over the world. Dark groups all over the world. Yes. Dark groups, the so-called Hindus right now, we are with Holland and we are with this Netanyahu. Of course, it's Jewish, always Jewish. We used to live before 1,000 years. Yes, Holland going to be quarter. That's it. The Buddhists as well, they fuck each other in Sri Lanka at the same time. They're all together against the light because they worship one God with different taghut. Satan, who is a creature of God, child of God, not a servant, child. I finalize it with this.